I'm Stephanie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Alexia.
So just before we start, I want to go over our confidentiality agreement, and it basically just states that anything you say in this room stays between me and you, unless I feel that you are either going to harm yourself or harm others. That's when I have to reach out to an authority. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So what brings you into therapy today?
I find myself worrying a lot about everything, like every little thing, and it's really bad.
Okay, so what types of things do you worry about?
Like every time I leave my house, I think that the stove is on, even if I didn't use stove, so I have to go back and check to make sure it's off. Or like my straightener, to go back and check, make sure it's off. And I'll be at work, can't concentrate because I think like someone's like breaking into my house, or my stove is on, or my straightener, or just something. I'm always worried about something. I live by myself, so there's no reason to worry, but I still worry all the time.
Okay, so what does that worrying feel like for you? Is it racing thoughts? Is it just, do you like, I see your leg shaking. Do you shake all the time? Describe the feeling of it for me.
I don't know. It just makes me nervous because I can't concentrate at all sometimes. Um, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. Um,
Okay.
um,
So walk me through like a normal day for you.
well, I wake up, I get ready for work. And when I leave, I make sure I lock and unlock the door like at least 7 times to make sure it's locked because I'm scared someone's gonna break into my house when I'm not there. And when I get to work, I press my car alarm at least like 3 times, like the beep, make sure it goes. I hear it 3 times before I walk into my job to make sure no one's breaking into my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you first leave, and you said you unlock and lock your door about 7 times. So where does that come from? Like, has somebody broken into your house before? Have you ever had, or in your life, have you ever had that happen?
No, I just worry that since I live by myself, I don't know, maybe someone's watching me and they want to break into my house. So I just make sure it's locked.
Okay. I just want to make sure the lights on. Okay, so then when you get to work, what's your work life like? Do you have like, are you friends with anybody at work? Like, does this sort of worrying affect your relationships?
I have a few friends, but I kind of just keep to myself. It's just how I am. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, kind of, I don't want people to think I'm like crazy because I have like, maybe it's OCD. I don't really know, but I don't know. I just like to keep to myself and just be private. That's just how I am.
Okay, so when you're at work, how much of your work, like how much of your work day would you say gets taken up by you worrying about your stove or your straightener?
Well, at first it wasn't that like major, but I feel like over like the past few months, like it's gotten worse. I just worry like it'll just happen randomly. Like I'll be doing work at my desk, and all of a sudden it just like I'm sitting there like, wait, like do I need to go back to my house? So I don't know. It's a lot more than it was before. But
Do you think there was anything, has anything happened in these past few months that maybe has brought it on to be more severe than it used to be? Even like the straightener and stuff, did you find one day that you did leave your straightener on, so now you're always like panicky about it?
no, I'm just scared. I don't like fire, so I'm scared my house will burn down.
Okay, so there's a phobia in a way that kind of
Yeah.
stems that, at least, because that works for the stove and for the straightener. So how long would you say this has been going on for?
I would say like maybe the past year.
And it's just gotten worse over the past few months, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so okay, so do you see any other changes in your behavior over the past few months other than the constant worrying And before you mentioned difficulty concentrating. Is there anything else that you notice?
I don't really sleep at night.
Okay.
I worry a lot.
Do you get tired? Like, does the worrying almost like tire you out and you just can't?
Sometimes, but I feel like just since I have barely been sleeping, I'm just kind of just used to it. But I don't like it. I don't know. It just happens. Like I'll be sleeping, and it's like something just triggers, like wake up because something, I don't know, something might be going on while I'm sleeping. So I have to like get up and check. I'm like very like tense and like uptight sometimes, just because I don't know, I get nervous. I don't know. Like I said, I keep to myself, so I don't know.
You seem very tense now. Is there anything that you're worrying about now?
Maybe my car. But like I said, I always make sure it's locked. But I still always worry, just because you never know. I don't know. Someone might break into my car.
So so you have rituals in a way about your house door and your car. So do you have to walk me through your house door ritual?
Well, when I'm leaving, I'll close the door. I'll lock the key. I make sure it's locked, and then I'll unlock it, lock it again, make sure it's locked, and then I just keep doing that.
Is there a certain, like, do you have to have a certain feeling? Is there like a certain click that it has to make?
That it doesn't like go, like it doesn't open, like it, because my key goes one way, so then when I turn it the other way, make sure that it doesn't open the door, like it. And I always make sure that the key, when I put it in, I hear the click when it locks.
Okay. And then can you walk away? Can you walk away without having to turn back? Have you ever?
In the beginning, like I can, but I do find myself sometimes kind of just looking back, like, should I lock it one more time? But it depends. Some days I will go back and lock it, and some days I'm like, okay, you can leave. But I don't know. I feel like lately it's been more of like, let me go check to make sure. And sometimes I won't put the key back in. I'll just like turn the knob
and like jiggle it.
Yeah. But sometimes I will put the key in. I don't know. It just depends.
And do you worry about that your whole way to work?
I don't know. Sometimes. I don't know. Maybe. I try not to, but it's like I can't help it. So.
Okay. And
same thing with my car.
Is it all the time? Is it every time you've ever left your car, or is it when you leave it in certain spots?
I would say I feel like it's more certain spots. If it's like a parking lot, not as much. But if it's like on the street somewhere, I'll like really, really check to make sure that the sound goes off, because I don't want someone breaking into my car. Especially if it's an area I don't know. That's when I get like really, really nervous and I freak out, and I make sure like the sound goes off, because I don't like to leave my car where I don't know where I'm going.
So you mentioned that normally happens when you leave it in a place that you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
Do you get anxious or worry about anything when you're with other people, when you're with people that you don't know? Does situations like that make you nervous as well?
Yeah, it does. Like if I don't know you, I don't know where you might try to do something to me. I don't know. That's why I think that's part of the reason I keep to myself. I'm like nervous to like meet people and just like kind of get to know them, just because I don't know. It's like I'm not comfortable. So, but if I am comfortable with you, I won't worry as much. But it's true, when I do meet new people, like my friends will bring other like friends around, and I'm just kind of like standoffish because I don't know you. It's weird.
How do you feel right now, considering this is the first time you and I have met?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm trying. I don't know.
What does that nervousness feel like for you?
Well, I get really fidgety. That's why I play with my hair a lot. I don't know. You don't make me nervous because you're helping me, but...
Well, that makes me feel better.
You're helping me, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So has there been any, like, history of, I want to say maybe a little bit of OCD, or So, is there any sort of mental health history in your family? Did anybody ever exhibit signs of OCD or like being very anxious? Do you remember?
My mom had OCD, I guess you would say. She was very particular about like things being organized and like putting them in a certain like spot. And if me and my like siblings, I have two older brothers and a younger sister, if any of us touched anything, like she would like freak out and she would get like irritated and she would have to go back and like put it however it was supposed to be, like especially our toys and stuff. Like she was really like OCD with like where we put certain things and like it had to be in this bin over here. And I mean, I guess I thought she was just being like organized. Like I didn't think it was
Mm-hmm.
anything serious, and I would like copy her because I want to be like my mom. Like, okay, like I'm gonna be clean and like organized, not realizing like it's actually like a problem.
Okay.
But that's about it.
So you said you have two older siblings and a younger sibling. So do you had how did that affect like them or you guys as like a unit?
I don't think they like thought it was anything serious. They were just like, she's just being annoying. She's just being a mom. But I don't know. It just as I got older, I started to pay attention to it more and like realize like, not only is it a problem, but I'm kind of doing the same thing that she's doing, like with like OCD and stuff, and like being particular about like what I do and like where things go. But I feel like I'm the only one that actually paid attention, maybe because I probably have it, but they didn't think anything of it. So.
Okay. So do you think that you started to exhibit more real ritualistic habits before the anxiety kicked in? Like was that happening earlier or later or like I guess parallel towards the anxiety?
I think it was the anxiety first, especially like when I moved out into my own place and like being by myself and making sure that no one breaks into my house or like leaving things on. I feel like that started, and then with that, it became like, okay, make sure the door is locked. You know, like go back and check and make sure everything's off, all appliances, straightener, everything, stove. Even if I didn't use it, just double check, make sure like it's not plugged in. Like I unplug a lot of stuff when I leave the house. Um, and then after that came like the whole car thing, and then so I would say like the worrying started more
before
than the
the
rituals.
So, do you see any like have there been any common things between your mom's OCD and yours? Because your mom sounds like you said before more organizational, and yours sounds sort of
Like fear.
Yeah, fear.
Um, Not really. It was more with her like being organized, just everything being where it was supposed to be. Like our house was always clean and always in order. Like nothing could be out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we? She's never really worried as much as I do. I don't know. Not really.
Have you ever tried talking to your mom about it?
I've like brought it up, but I don't know. Like she doesn't like to talk about her OCD, and like she never tried to get help. So I guess she just kind of like, no, like it's not a big deal.
Sort of. I've been living with it,
right?
so
Like it's not anything. But I don't think like obviously like I don't live with her, so she doesn't really see like, you know. And I try not to like act worried when I'm with her. Like I mean when I go to her place, I don't lock my like I'll lock it. I'll do the usual, but I just kind of like I don't worry as much because like I know like that's my heart. Like I grew up in that house. I grew up in that area, so I don't have to worry about anything over there. But I don't know. I just try not to like show it, and I don't know. Or maybe she does notice, but she just I don't know. But we've never like had like a full conversation about it. She just brushes it off. But I don't know. I don't really like to talk about it, like I said before. So I guess that's why.
So your mom, you think, sort of knows about it and like you've brought it up, but it's not really that big of a thing.
Something she like sees, like she's never seen me do like my little like lock in the house when I leave the house, making sure everything's locked, or like the car. I feel like if she saw it maybe, but she thinks I'm fine, so
yeah,
that's probably what it is.
Do any of your siblings know?
No. because they're probably just gonna be like, you're just like mom, and I don't know. You
Yeah.
don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So, not really. I'll just keep it to myself.
Does talking about it with other people make you anxious? Is that something that you worry about too?
Yeah. Like, especially, like, at work. Like, I don't want my like I said, like, I don't want them to think, like, I'm weird or, like, because, like, I'm worrying all the time. But I also don't want them to think, like, I'm not doing my job well. Because I do my job well, and I really do focus on, like, what I do. But it's just, I just have those moments where it's, like, I just get distracted and, like, I can't focus on what I'm doing. And I get worried that I'm going to lose my job because of that. But I mean, I've never had a problem. I've been like, I'm doing pretty well with like trying to manage it in that aspect because like I like my job and like I want to keep my job.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if I don't know. It just depends. I mean, talking with you, I'm not as nervous, but like I guess I don't know. Just because it's more confidential. Whereas like at work, I don't know. They might tell everybody, and then everyone's looking at me like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's crazy." So I don't know. It just depends.
I want you to try to explain to me sort of how did actually let me rephrase that. Do you have any like physical symptoms? Like have you in the moment of you're on your way to work and you think that you left your straightener on, like is it just the fact that you constantly think about it, or does anything else sort of happen?
I'll like kind of not like I get nervous and like I'll find my like driving and like my hands are kind of shaking because I'm just like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back. Just like sweating sometimes, like because sometimes like me doing that, like I'll almost be late. So I'm like, it's like I'm freaking out because I don't want to be late to work, but I'm also freaking out because I don't know if I did
Left
everything
it
at
on or
home,
not?
and so it just depends. But those usually just like I just get nervous and like panicky and like sweating and
Mm-hmm.
shake, like I shake.
So I remember you mentioning before that when you lock your door, there have been times where you've walked away and you kind of like look back and but you've never really like gone back and checked. Does that happen when you drive too? Have you ever just wanted to turn around, like physically turn around in your car
To go
and
back
go
home,
back home?
I've done it a few times, but I really try not to. But I don't know. It's like something in me is just like you have to go back. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to go back now. It's like something's telling me like go back, go check.
Okay.
But I try not to. I don't know. It's like that's one thing I try not to like do. That, but it just like I don't. It just depends. I don't know. Some days where I'm like, okay, you can go, and then some days I'm like, you can't leave. Like
Yeah.
you need to go back and check. And I don't know why that happens, but I feel like also like if I'm sleepy, I guess I'm just like not there, and I'm just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Just it really just depends on the day I'm having.
Have you ever seek treatment for it, or has it not really been? You said it got worse over the past few months, so is that what's bringing you here now, or have you tried before and it didn't really work out, so you're trying to give it another shot?
No, this is like my first time. Like as I noticed, like it was getting like really bad. That's when I was like, okay, maybe I need someone to help me because I can't do it on my own, obviously. But no, this is the first time that I've like spoken to someone.
Okay.
I guess.
We're coming up short on our time, but would you be interested in maybe coming back and trying to figure something out? There's a few treatment options that we can go to maybe figure out what leads to your anxiety and like what leads to the rituals, and like there's something called exposure therapy that you may or may not be up to, which is like you kind of literally do it
And like leave.
and you kind of just
Just thinking about that makes me nervous.
And that's something that we could talk about too.
I mean, I'm definitely like I will definitely come back because it is something I want to kind of control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll be able, like, I feel like I can, but I also feel like my mind's just gonna, like, it's just something I'm always gonna have, but it doesn't have to be so extreme to the point where I'm like, and I don't want it to get worse. I don't, like, I already do a lot, and I know I do a lot, but I can't help it. So like I don't want to. I don't want to be sitting there like a half hour like locking my door.
Yeah.
Or like, you know. So if you can help me with my rituals and, you know, so they don't get worse than what they are, I will definitely come back and we can try therapy and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm very happy that you came in today. It was so nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too. Yeah. Thank you.